Hello, 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 and welcome. I'm Sheila Balgobin, known as the Dream Decipherer, and this is Dream Your Life, Live Your Dream Live, where we talk about all things dreams. Now, today's subject, the hot topic on this hot day, it's about 91 degrees, but with the humidity, it feels like 102, which is about 41 degrees centigrade for those of you outside of the U.S., so it is hot. But the hot topic today is for Mother's Day, I'm going to look at mothers and the possible meanings of why they appear in our dreams. But the first thing we have to remember, as with all dreams, that the dreams about our mothers must be looked at in context. Whether you're looking at it from a cultural or religious point of view, social and personal values all come into play when we are dreaming about anything, and as well as our mothers, whether our mothers are alive or in spirit. So we're going to look at a few of those values and see how they may influence our dreams about our mothers and what that could possibly mean. Now, I know personally that when my mother, who is in spirit, appears, it's usually to tell me something important or to encourage me or to figuratively give me a boot up the butt to get myself in gear. When I was doing my training and healing, a great-grandmother of mine, whom I've never met but is in spirit, encouraged me to study working with plants and healing. So with any dream, important information can be given to us, and as always, as I'm always saying, a dream is a call to action of some kind. Now, mother figures in our dreams may relate to our own relationships with our mothers, whether, again, alive or in spirit. It could be about how you feel about being a mother yourself, or it could be symbolic about what you think about and feel about mothers in general. The concept of what mothering means to you could be dramatized in the dream, or even the idea of the great mother, Mother Earth. So it doesn't even have to be our actual mothers. I use the example of my great-grandmother who came to me in spirit, but it could be anyone who has served a mothering role in our lives. And I'll stop here and say, Happy Mother's Day. Tomorrow is Mother's Day here in the U.S., so happy Mother's Day to all those mothering spirits, whether you have children of your own or act as a mother to others. So these mothering roles could be our aunts, our grandmothers, godmothers, etc. But they can present themselves as being a mothering or nurturing spirit in our dreams. Now, it's not really unusual for our parents, whether male or female, coming into our dreams, especially when we're have become parents ourselves or about to become parents, or there's a difficult issue or choice to be made regarding our own children, if we have them. So when we're dreaming, our mothers may actually be a present in the dream and actually speak and interact with us. And if they do, listen closely. Our mothers don't stop loving us because they're in spirit, or whether they're physically present. So if they're appearing, it's because there's something important that perhaps you're missing or need to know. So listen carefully to whatever message they deliver. Our mothers continue to love and watch over us no matter what. I mean, no matter how old we get, as my mother used to say, I'm still older than you. So, no matter how old we get, we're still younger than our mothers. And as such, they have a great deal of wisdom and love to impart to us, particularly when we are in need of it. Now, mother figures, again, encourage us to consider the relationship that we have with our mothers and possibly gain some insight that could improve a difficult relationship or just to help us understand ourselves and our mothers better. For example, a domineering and overbearing mother may appear as a witch, a castrating female, or even a snake or spider, depending on the context of that relationship that we have with our mothers. Could it be, in this case, that you're expressing a fear of being like that, or you're processing feelings about that mother figure in your life, and how you feel about them? Do they feel like they overwhelm you and try to take over your life? I mean, again, dreams work by analogy, in metaphors. So it's as if. So is there an area of your life or in your relationship with your mother that's as if that mother is, for males, a castrating mother, which is an archetype? Or is that, they're a spider, just like got her tentacles all over the place, all over your life? So in that case, it can be helpful to consider what your thoughts and feelings are about mothers in general, personally, and then reflect how these different attributes that are coming up in the dream are relevant in your everyday life. Whereas we may associate love, responsibility, appreciation, support, and protection and other things with regard to our mothers, we may also feel that there's a sacrifice, being like we're being sacrificed, that we're being controlled, that you feel resentful, or guilty about feeling resentful. Or you may even just be a bit ambivalent. Like some days, yeah, mom's cool, and other days, I can't deal with her. Or even rejection. And particularly in the case where children have felt rejected by their mothers, that she may appear in dreams or nightmares as again, that spider, that castrating female, that witch, or so forth, which is an expression of the unexpressed negative feelings. So you have to remember that as children, we see our parents, and particularly our mothers, through the eyes of a child. And they can almost seem like these mystical, magical, otherworldly creatures. We may see her as an object. Certainly when we're as babies, we don't see the full picture of our mothers. I mean, she becomes our eyes, she becomes a breast, she becomes, a voice. And so our image of our mothers as infants is fragmented because our brains aren't fully developed yet, and we don't see an entire person. We see pieces of a person. As we get older, though, we do have a more realistic view of our mothers and come to understand that she's not perfect, that she's not some, beneficent or maleficent goddess, that she has her failings, she has her faults, she has fears and desires too. And, you think about, oh God, people don't like to think about their parents as, as having a relationship and sleeping with one another. It's like, ew. But, they're real people with real lives and feelings and desires like everybody else. So these changing perspectives of our mothers can present challenges. And it can be hard at first to be able to reconcile feelings of disagreement with our mothers. And it may be painful even to disagree with her and any decisions she may have made. But we begin to, especially as our mothers and parents in general get older, start to see them as not these magical, mystical, powerful beings, but having frailties, having, the need to be themselves nurtured and taken care of, especially as they get older. So we can experience these deep and life-changing perspectives And our dreams are can be a help to us to process these feelings and to put them in their proper place. Now, there may be, our mothers may appear in our dreams and as a call to develop certain qualities that she may have possessed or possesses if she's still with you. Now, if you see your mother is patient, maybe it's a call to you to see where you need to exercise more patience in your waking life. And to draw upon her example to be able to inculcate those that feeling of patience, or whatever the quality may be. It may be patience. It may be being a good cook. It may be being a wonderful hostess. Whatever the case may be, whatever those qualities are that you find admirable in your mother, may be a call to you to develop those qualities yourself. And now, there's also when things get tough and things get difficult in your life, you may be dreaming of your mother to gain insight in how to run your household, or to deal with your children, or as a representative of changing roles. I mean, our mothers generally had a more traditional role in terms of being a housewife at home with children, though that's changed so much these days. I mean, most women have to go out to work. There's a small percentage that are privileged to be able to stay at home with their children permanently, or at least for a time while their children are young. But on the other hand, if your relationship with your mother was negative in some way, you may have unconsciously programmed those lessons and language into your own internal dialogue. That voice that we, in our heads, that's the internal critic, may have started with a mother that was negative in some way. Maybe it was a mother who had a martyr complex. Maybe it was a mom who was sickly and therefore very dependent and needy. So we develop these inner dialogues and pictures in our minds as to what mother is like, what being a mother is like. And this internal critic can really, really blight our lives. If your mother perhaps was very aloof and disinterested in you, it can make you feel unable perhaps to be able to relate to others, particularly your own children if you have them. So an unhealthy relationship with your mother, an unhappy relationship with your mother, will of necessity bleed into your own life as an adult, quite often unconsciously. You've internalized that message and you just keep repeating the cycle. So having dreams like this is again, a call to action that can highlight a particular issue that needs to be addressed by you. Perhaps you need to rethink how you see yourself, how you see your relationship with your mother. Now, if we look at dreams from about mothers from a religious perspective, there's a slightly different take on things. And in biblical narratives, of course, dreams are divine channels for God to impart wisdom and insight, with the image of mothers embodying a nurturing personality or essence and care. I remember once years ago giving a little plaque to my mother for Mother's Day. And I thought it was a lovely thought. It says, God couldn't be everywhere, so he created mothers. And that for me was, yes, I get that. So that may be, whereas God the Father is this omniscient being and person that watches over us, and it can be a stern taskmaster. Mother Mary, for those who are Catholic, having that mother energy or Sophia, which is the female energy, is comforting. There's someone you can relax into and feel comforted and held by. But some of the dreams of one's mother from a religious context could include feelings of nurturing and care, which I've said earlier, emotional support, wisdom and guidance, and that's where Sophia, which actually means wisdom, comes into play, and emotional healing and seeking direction. So the biblical meaning of mothers can be multi-layered, with each interpretation, again, hinging on your particular context and circumstances. But in whatever context you look at dreams of mothers, in terms of religion, you're talking about nurturing. The presence of God as a nurturing spirit in our lives, and to give us guidance and protection even. Now, dreaming about our mothers who may be in spirit might represent eternity. That God's love never ends. It's eternal. That our mothers, even though they have stepped out of this room into another, because as they say, in my Father's house there were many mansions, there were many rooms. So she stepped into another room, which can be not only a comfort to us once we get over the shock of grief, but can also serve as a call to reflection as to how we can nurture and mother ourselves. But dreams aren't just about the past. It's also a call to the future. What can we do going forward to nurture ourselves or to nurture others? So it can be a call to develop greater insight that will move our lives forward in some way. Now, shifting a little bit again and looking at the cultural perspectives about dreams, dreams are a reflection of our cultural lives and reflecting how society feels about different things. And dreams that feature mothering figures are no different. You'll find that these dreams can vary significantly depending on the cultural values that you've grown up with. For example, it's always important to look at the emotions that are brought up by these dreams about our mothers and the situations. Again, it's all about context, as these can alter the meaning and significance of the dream. Some of the dreams could mean things from a cultural perspective, actually, could mean that we're longing for comfort and guidance, not necessarily from our mothers, but from the people around us. If we're not in an environment that feels nurturing, it may be a call to us to find ways to nurture ourselves. Dreams could also be representative of wisdom and good counsel, and a need to heal ourselves from something, whether it be our relationships with our mothers or other relationships, maybe relationships with our children. And it could even be a call to something that's going to happen in the future, to alert you to upcoming challenges or changes in your life. So the question here is, how do we respond to these dreams? What should we do? What do they mean? Well, again, it all starts with context. What's going on in your current life that is pertinent to what the dream was about, what feelings it evoked in you. And you also have to remember here that the people in our dreams aren't necessarily themselves, but represent some aspect of the dreamer. So mother could be here a symbol of what? Well, you have to look at it from the context of your life. What is going on in your life that feels threatening, that feels uplifting, that feels nurturing? You have to play a bit of detective and dig a little bit deeper to understand what the message is. the dreams come from us and are about us, so that the unconscious mind hangs the thought, feelings, sensations on things and places and people that are familiar to us, generally. Not always, but most of the time. So where is it in your life that you're feeling these different feelings? That is your starting point, and that is the real value about dreaming about your mother. So that's just to give you a little bit of an insight as to what dreams about our mothers may be about. And again, dreams are a call to action. What is it, where is it in your life that these particular qualities or feelings with regard to your mother that have been dramatized in this dream are showing up in your waking life? And it's from there that you start to unravel the real meaning behind your dreams. So there you have it. That's my take on Mothers and Mother's Day. And again, I wish all the mothering spirits out there a happy Mother's Day. And if you have had a dream about mothers, either past, present, or even future, get in contact and let's work together to find out what the message is that your mother is presenting to you. Thanks so much for watching and listening. I am getting out of this heat. I think I'll go swimming a bit later to cool off. But enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.